Howdy, y'all. So hope this is enough lighting. But I was gonna wait until tomorrow to record this, but I couldn't because I'm gonna do it while it's still fresh in my mind. Because it's that relevant. And oh, look at my wrist. My poor little wrist. It's not hurting as bad today, but the downsides of getting older. Anyway, to the point. Ow, fucker. Anyway, tonight I had a win, a psychological win, the battle of the sexes, right? And yes, I have hair. It's there. Jeez. Where to begin? I had been dating this woman. She was 19 years of age, and she's now 20. She just had a birthday not too long ago, and it kind of ties into this. But when we first started seeing each other, when I first saw her, I was like, oh my goodness, who is that? And like, I'd been on a dry spell, and you know, kind of looking for someone. So I seen her, and I was like, I just knew I had to have her. And she was like about as tall as I am. Actually, I thought she was taller, but she's like 5'10", 5'11", blonde, you know, not thick, but just well put together, you know, not skinny, but not like, I don't know, she has like these hips, like, oh, like I said, I don't know, I just, she just drew me in, like, when I first laid eyes on her, like, it was over. And, well, as of tonight, it's a wrap, and, tonight really put the last nail in the coffin. I mean, it already happened, like, a few weeks ago, but, like, tonight really, whatever. So, going back to the beginning, I immediately turned the charm on. I was like, oh my goodness, who are you? Where are you from? Da-da-da-da-da. You know, I was coming on strong. I was coming on hot. And immediately she was like, whoa, I have a boyfriend. And I was like, why? Shit. Okay, that's cool. But look, we're all like, and I invited her out to like go out because a lot of his coworkers used to go out and hang out. And so I was just trying to make it like casual, you know what I mean? Like, hey, no, it's not like that. Like, I would just like for you to come out. I just want you to come out. And she was reluctant quite a few times, you know what I mean? And then finally, she all of us went out, and we had a fucking crazy time. We had a crazy story that all went with it. And she's like, damn, I wish I would have went out. I was like, see, I told you should have gone out. It would have been so much fun. And by then, like, I was already making all these moves. Like, I was like, you know, like getting handsy with her. I was fucking just complimenting her. I was just fucking like, I was just drawn into her world. You know what I mean? And all this time she has a boyfriend. Well, then finally, one night she decides to go out. She's like, yeah, I'll go out. That's fine. I was like, yeah, cool. So she agrees, and there was another coworker there at the time, and we all went out for drinks. And the minute fucking we hit the table, I was all fucking hands. Like, I couldn't keep my fucking hands off her. And She was like pulling away. She's like, no, I can't. But by the end of the night, we were fucking making out all over each other, groping each other, all that shit. And it came to the point where I was just like, we need to go out in my car somewhere. Like, we're doing this. And we come out here, or to the parking lot of a bar across the street from work. And it's funny because, like, we're both tall. And I tried to pull her in here to do it. And, like, she hit her head on the little handle right here. That's back here in the back seat. And, she's like, no, I can't, stop. No. I was like, all right, fine. So be it. Like, I'll respect it. She's like, I have to go home. So she leaves. And, I don't remember how long it was. Like a day or two. I don't know if it was the next night, whatever. But, well, she comes back and she tells me, she's like, hey, I broke up with my boyfriend. I was like, huh. All right. So we go out that night. And we hooked up. We went to the bar, had a drink or two, had some food, and made it happen. So then from that point on, like, I'd been talking with her, and like I said, I was talking with her before, like I said, I vetted her. I'm pretty sure I said that, but like, because I was trying to gauge her. I was like, what are you about? Like, where are you from? Like, what was your last job like? And she had no problem telling me. She's like, yeah, my last job, I was promiscuous. Like, I was with a few of my coworkers. We're talking dirty to each other. Like, just all this shit. So then, so I was like, all right, she's game. You know what I mean? Like, not only is she game, but it's like, it won't be that serious. All right? Like, I don't, like, it'll just be playtime. You know what I mean? So we hooked up and we're fooling around, and people are asking about us because, like, now they're seeing us, like, hang out together, touchy feely, all this shit, yada yada yada, blah blah blah, whatever. And I just kept saying, I was like, look, it's casual. You know what I mean? It's casual. That was my big thing. Like, I am not looking to make her my fucking girlfriend. I'm not looking to make her whatever, based off the information that I had received. So, and the experiences that, whatever. So, over the next few months, like, well, it was the winter months, so there's the holidays. I left town, and then she left town, and, like, there was 2 or 3 weeks, like, we didn't see each other, and then I didn't see her, whatever. Well, also in that time, like, so she's the only one I was with throughout that time. You know what I mean? Like, I poured my energy into it, whatever, but, like, it's almost irrelevant because, like, I just, I don't know. I don't know how relevant that is. If I should speak more on that, whatever. But in my mind, like, with the information I was given and the age that she was at, and still is, I suppose, as of recording this, that it's like she's looking to explore. She's looking to be free. She's looking to do all these things, whatever. I'm cool with that. That's fine. You know what I mean? Like, I accept that. That's just how our culture is. So, I was gone over Christmas break, and I heard that, like, she was, getting hot for this guy named, we'll call him Jay, okay? And, I'm like, whatever, that's fine. So I come back, and, well, her and I, we spark things back up, we're hanging out, whatever, yada, yada. And then, so we're hanging out for, like, maybe a month, maybe even less than. And, I forget what happened. I don't know, it kind of just started, like, fizzling out, because, like, I feel like expectations, I forget where it all went wrong, but, like, I feel like there's these expectations. She's like, hey, we've been seeing each other for a couple months. Hey, we've been, oh, now we're hanging out. And I was like, and that's true, because, like, we were hanging out, like, doing this stuff and everything. But I'm like, maybe this is wrong, but, like, we're just dating. You know what I mean? Like, we're going out fucking... Yeah, sometimes we go out to eat, or sometimes we go to, like, a museum, or whatever the fuck. But it's like, we're not serious. You know what I mean? Like, there would be, like, a day or two, like, we wouldn't speak, and that's whatever. You know what I mean? It's not like it was like oh, good morning, and then good night, and then da-da-da-da. Like, it was that wasn't the case. So, what am I getting at? So then, one night, oh no, like we're bickering or fighting, or something came up. You know what I mean? Like, because we go out and I would talk about like other girls. And I knew about her, you know, extracurricular activities, and she sorry, there's so much I want to explain. Her extracurricular activity. So I thought it was fair game. I'd be like, oh, well, you know, I'm kind of digging this person, whatever. Like, I don't know. And I think this is where it really got cut, because like she felt comfortable like telling me all the guys she was like talking to, and like she showed me our exes and like them kissing and just all these details and whatever. And I'm like, that's kind of a turn off and weird. But all right, if you want to match energy, here we go. So did that. And so then it came down to us bickering and fighting. And then that night, we went to a head shop, and I saw another guy at work texting her. And I'm like, oh, all right, so, well, that's a thing. But I'm like, whatever. And, but then that same night, like, she got all mad at me for, like, expressing interest or finding value in other females. And I was like, and then she explicitly said, how are you trying to win me over when you're talking about my friends or talking about these other girls? And I'm like, I'm not. Like, what do you mean? Like, and then in my mind, I was like, I already know you're talking to other guys, and there's just two off the top of my head that I know of. And so I'm like, that's kind of weird. So anyway, that night, came home, and then the next day, I forget exactly what happened, but I think I was like, hey, maybe we should just distance ourselves. Maybe we shouldn't, whatever. And so I started talking with my coworker, and she was going through some shit with her boyfriend or partner, or whatever you want to call it. And so I was like, hey, you want to go out and get a drink? She's like, sure. So me and her went out with one of her friends. Well, then little did I know that the chick that I've been seeing also showed up. But then she showed up with that guy that she was texting. And then, you know, they're sitting together and being all close and shit and whatnot. And I'm like, that's interesting, whatever. So that night, I come home, and she hits me up on Snapchat. She's like, I just want to make sure you made it home safe. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, how are you gonna like be all cozied up to another guy, and then like an hour later, you know, like be like, hey, just make sure you're safe. I was like, that's so weird that like it's like she wants the best of both worlds. She wants to have her cake and eat it too. Like, she wants to be able to like fuck around and like see all these other guys and whatever, but then she wants to have this emotional connection with me. And ultimately that's what I'm alluding to. I know it took, you know, damn near 14 minutes to say that, but I just couldn't. Nope. So so we didn't see each other for a couple weeks, like 2-3 weeks. You know what I mean? I distanced myself. I was like, no, I'm good. I'm fucking just go do my own thing. So I think things were civil enough at work. I don't know, like we saw each other, like we worked together enough, whatever. I don't know. I'm having a hard time recalling. But it was civil enough to where, like, to the point where it was like, hey, another one of our coworkers was like, hey, I want to go out drinking tonight. You want to go? I was like, sure. And then she decided to go too. We'll call her V. So A was the mutual one, the one that also had like a boyfriend. She broke up, whatever. So there was the three of us, and we went out to this bar that A had been to previously. So I'm like, fuck it. Well, we all went out. A brought another friend and his guy friend over, and that kind of we all started drinking, and then V and I kind kind of being flirty and all that stuff, and she was moving close and all that shit, whatever. And then that, well, we didn't hook up that night, but we ended up reconnecting. I think that's the best way to put it. And, you know, she was like cuddling me and shit, whatever, and she's just like, oh, you're stuck with me or some shit like that, whatever. And I was just like, man, what am I going to do with you? What am I going to do with you? You know, I was like, because it's like, it's already, like, I know this isn't sustainable. I know this is not long term. Like, she's too young. We're just at completely different points in our lives. It's just not it. Okay, it's just not it. You know, like, it was fun. Don't get me wrong. Had a good time. But it's just not it. But she kept saying, she's like, when, you know, and then I kept saying, I was like, what am I going to do with you? What am I going to do with you? And she might have made it, she might have interpreted it that it was like I was like just gonna like engage and fucking make shit work with her, and that was not the case. So that was like a week or two before Valentine's Day. Actually, less than. It was like a few days before Valentine's Day. So we're at work, and then she goes, "Hey, so I was just curious, you know." She's like, "I'm alone." And she's like, "I was curious to know if I could ask you out for Valentine's Day." And I'm not gonna lie, I was like, well, that's kind of cool being asked out and shit. So I was like, fuck it, yeah. And I was like, all right, I already know. And oh, I'm sorry. And then she's like, well, I don't know where to go. And she's like, I don't want to go to that place by your house. I was like, I already know where to go, because I used to work there, and I just picked up my W-2 earlier that day, and I was like, man, I'm kind of craving this place. So it like all kind of worked out, and I'm like, all right, I know what to do. And so the Valentine's Day thing was because I was supposed to work, but I already requested it off, and that was the whole fucking thing, whatever. But so then we go for Valentine's Day, or no, the day before, and then we actually hook back up. You know, and then Valentine's Day, same thing. We're hooking up, and then we're kind of doing it off and off again, like how we were, you know, back after Christmas. So then comes her birthday, which is 2 weeks later. And I was working doubles. I was going through all this shit. Like, I was already going out with her, staying out until 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, all this shit. And I'm 34 years old. And I was like, I can't keep doing this. Like, I'm going to work fucking exhausted. I'm spending money. Like, again, I'm just distracting myself from what I need to do in my life. You know, we're at two completely different places. And, so now the whole, you know, what do I do with you kind of comes into play, and I had to put something into effect. So the day before her birthday, me and a bunch of coworkers were working, and her, you know, obviously her birthday was at midnight. Well, it was like, and we're all supposed to go out to get a couple drinks, and we're all doing our closing stuff at this restaurant, and throughout it, I went up to her and I was like, look, hey, I can't go tonight. I'm too tired. And she immediately was pissed off. Understandably so. And I see, even as of I sit here right now, it's fucked up. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. Like, I still feel bad. You know? On the other hand, like, I put my needs before her wants. You know, like, I'm exhausted. I am fucking whatever. Like, and there's 100 different ways that could have been handled differently. I could have done more on my part if she was just like, well, come on, just come out for just one drink, whatever. I probably would have. But, like, I guess what I was just trying to say, I was just trying to implement boundaries. I was just like, look, I just can't do it. And instead of just, like, negotiating and, like, starting with the halfway point, I fucking just took the full stance of being like, hey, I just can't go. You know, that's another reason why I wear this ring. It's like, dude, self-love. You know, I need to look out for myself. My needs before anyone else's wants. Or whatever. So, well, she didn't like it, and she became completely distant and cold after that. And I was like, all right, fuck it, you know, it is what it is. Like, that's how it's gonna be, and then that's how it's gonna be. So So I didn't talk to her the next day. I think the next Monday I sent something. I was like, hey, I feel really bad. We chat a little bit, whatever. She's like, hey, it is what it is. She's like, you did take the sparkle out of my night, whatever. I was like, fuck, that's fucked up. Again, I feel super bad. Like, again, wish I would have handled it differently, but here we are. But I was like, damn, sorry. I was like, well, why don't I go to you? Like, or can we hang out this Thursday? And I think it was Wednesday at this point, because that was a Saturday night, I believe, and her birthday was Sunday. Well, then that's when, well, like I said, she became cold and distant, and she was once warm and receptive and willing to go along with things. And now she's like, I can't, I don't know, we'll see. Like, I got this thing, and I was just like, fuck. All right. And then, and I do have to bring up the sex too, because I think this is important. This definitely played into it. So now she was like, you know, didn't want to partake. You know, she's like, I can't, and she started lying and all this shit. And I understand, but now that it came out of the sex, and like, I just don't think we had sexual chemistry. You know, like, don't get me wrong, even when it's bad, it's good, but like, what am I trying to say? Like, for me, it wasn't like the biggest loss. It was like, all right, you know, just, it is what it is, fine. Like, I guess I was like, if you don't want to hook up and all that shit, like, I'll just move on. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of, going into this, like, now circling back to the beginning, it's like, look, I already know, like, she cheats on her boyfriend. I already know, like, she's trying to be promiscuous, all this stuff, and it's like, I'm not trying to become emotionally or financially tangled in, you know, a promiscuous woman, you know, and that's definitely where it was leading to. Like, I felt like there was these rising expectations, and I couldn't play ball, you know, and I just happened to do it the night of her birthday, or the night before, whatever, you all get it. So she says no, she doesn't want to go out or come see me. I was like, all right, fine, cool. So then after that, I just go cold, distant. You know what I mean? Like, in my mind, there's almost no reason to talk. You know, like, why? Not that there's no reason to talk, but it's like, see, this is wrong. I think I'm a little fucked up too, because I'm like, I'm not gonna like expend my energy on someone that, like, I'm not getting enough out of it. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm giving you my energy, my time, all this shit, it's like, not I'm expecting something, but like, I would like something in return that, like, my needs, wants, and desires are being satisfied, and they weren't. And even with the sex, like, I mean, it was okay, you know what I mean? Like, but like, even when we're having sex, I don't know how far is too far in explaining some of the details, but like, there was some things that would occur during the act of that I just wasn't okay with. Like she wouldn't allow me to reach orgasm and then would just leave. Whereas, like, and to me, that's a little fucked up. You know, just leaving me like that. Like, I don't know, like, we come that far. I know as a man, you know, the things we have to do to get to that point, and then finally we're right there, and then just to take it away. But then you want me to go out with you every night. You want me to go do this and that, and it all, like I said, again, the rising expectations. So the value I was getting for the effort and everything else I was putting forward, it just wasn't it. So I was like, fuck it. All right, peace out. Now, emotions are involved on both ends. And, yeah, I was getting jealous and shit, whatever. And I was jealous throughout the whole time. But, like, I had to, like, tell myself that, like, this is what it was. Excuse me. So, what was it? Last week? I don't know, she started seeing that dude again. Which is, like, another fucked up thing. Like, we'll call him N. And, she told me about how inadequate his package was. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, why are you telling me that? Like, why are you spreading that man's shit like that? Like, that's so fucking, that's scandalous. That's so fucking scandalous. And but I was like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? And then but then she started, like, she was like flirting with him again in front of me and all that shit. And of course, it's all to get a fucking, I would say it's to get a rise out of me. Like, I don't know how egotistical that is to say, but it damn well felt like it. So, excuse me. So, so like, all right, it's war. You know what I mean? Like we're throwing these fucking jabs and all this shit and fucking whatever. Like, all right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. So in my mind, I was like, all right, I've already pretty much nixed it. You know what I mean? Like that shit with their birthday move. But I was like, all right, I'm really gonna fucking do something now. So I'm sitting in my house, and she left some shit in my house. She left like some pants, a shirt, some like face wipes, an earring. Well, I was going through some of my old stuff, and I found my ex's nipple ring. So I put that in with her stuff, and I gave it back to her. I was like, hey, you left all this stuff in my house. And that was like a week and a half ago. And just yesterday, she finally showed up to work. And she's like, hey, I want to give you something. And I'm like, no, I don't want to receive any gifts. I don't want anything from you. Like, I think it's best we just... And then she got mad, and she's like, you're a fucking asshole. And then fucking, like, threw it in the trash. I just laughed. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was totally fucked up on my part, too. But, so fucking... So then... I was like, all right, that's funny, haha. But then, I don't know, that fizzled out pretty quick. It was whatever. And then we just had some small talk or whatever. And, yeah... Like, I don't know, it's like, I don't want to engage her and, like, give her the best part of myself, like, my charismatic self and whatever. I don't want to give her any of that when I know I'm not getting anything in return. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm not going to... And I don't want anything in return. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the one who purposely nixed it. Or axed it, whatever you want to call it. So... Then it comes down to today. And, not too big of a thing. I wasn't expecting much of it. I thought I was just gonna like keep my head down, whatever. Well, today she was a little more cocky and ballsy, and she was flirting with another guy at work. And let me just say, it's so therapeutic to talk about this, because like it's really helping me put things in perspective. And because I know she still fucking cares. It's so bloody obvious. But then like me, like I'm trying not to. You know what I mean? I'm trying to play it cool, calm, and collective. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to let this shit show. And, well, it got to me. And, we'll call this guy Z, okay? So Z had I gave him a book. I gave him 48 Laws of Power. And, like a few days prior. And, over the last couple days I've asked him, like, hey, how far have you gotten into it? Yada, yada, whatever, da, 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 da. Well, fucking, V was flirting with Z. And, I finally decided, I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna say something. You know what I mean? So I go to him, I was like, what'd I say? Because wording is important. But I said, hey, if you end up getting in there, let me know, and then we can compare notes. And I was totally talking about her. And fucking, she turns around and goes, what the fuck is that supposed to be? Or you motherfucker. Something like that. Totally fucking blasts me, right? And I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? You know, totally playing dumb like a motherfucker. So then Z turns around and he's like, dude, like, he's like, notes. He's like, are you talking about the book? And I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The book. And then, so by that time, she already walked off. Well, not walked off, but she took, you know, she walked like 10, 15 feet away. So then I turned around, I was like, Vivian, I gave him 48 Laws of Power a few days ago, and like, I was just talking about exchanging notes about the book. And then she goes, I am so sorry. And I was like, you know what? Don't be. Like, fucking forget about it. I was like, dude, this is the third time you've blown up on me in the past week. I don't know what's going on with you or what's wrong or whatever, but I was like, you just need to fucking leave me alone. Like, you need to control your emotions. Even though I was totally talking about her, she was so right to go off on me. She was so fucking right. And pretty much across the board. This is why I'm making this video. Because I sit here today and I won. I couldn't have planned that better myself. And that really put the nail in the coffin, because after that, I deleted her off social media. She made herself look so fucking stupid in front of so many people, and so fucking crazy and fucking unhinged, whatever you want to call it. And I looked like I was just like, whoa, what the fuck? You know? And so I asked my boss, I was like, hey, do you mind if I step outside for a second? She's like, that's fine. So I stepped outside and I was like, this is the perfect opportunity. I deleted her off all my social medias. And then I went back inside and whatever, just continue with my day. Well, then, like, we get towards the end of the day, and, like, she tried to apologize to me a couple times. I'm like, look, please just give me space. Like, you're making me uncomfortable, like, whatever. Just leave me alone. So then, well, I'm the closer, and I have to check everyone out. Well, she's one of the people. So she comes up to me and looking, and I was like, look, V, like, there's something I really need to say. Like, I was like, I don't know, like, I understand, like, you're doing your thing, and that's cool and everything, but I was like, I just want you to respect what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And just let me do what I'm doing, you do what you're doing. And she goes, well, what do you mean? Can I get an example? So she's really just trying to drag me into that fucking, those who know. She's trying to get me fucking bogged down in the details and then fucking defeat me with experience. You know what I mean? No, I just wasn't having it. And then once it dawned on me that we're not going to be able to have a rational conversation, and that emotions were definitely clouding her ability to fucking come to a conclusion, or, you know, or have to where we can have a peace treaty, whatever you want to call it. I just kind of chuckled to myself. I was like, you know what? Never mind. Just please just give me space. And then, after that, sat down, I was like, and then I told her, I was like, look, I do need you to know that I deleted you off all my social medias, and I just want you to, give me as much space as possible, or, you know, limit your interactions with me, or some shit like that, something along the lines like that. Like, please, like, it's too much. Totally made her look fucking absolute batshit crazy. Make no mistake. Sure, she did some fucked up shit, but not really to me. All her biggest fault, and the conclusion I came to, because I just drove home right now, I'm sitting, you know, in front of my house, is that all she did was care. Like, she fell for me, and I fucking, and so I wouldn't get hurt, you know, or get dragged into this thing, because like we went out for Valentine's Day, like her Hinge notifications are going off. I knew she was talking with other dude. Like, I was like, I have to fucking nix this. I have to do something that's fucking dramatic to where it fucking ends. And I feel, and it's fucked. Like, I had to be the fucking player. I had to be the one to fucking orchestrate everything that had happened. And I got the perfect out. What happened tonight, by her hearing me correctly and having the appropriate response, and then him mishearing me and then being like, wait, you're talking about the book, and giving me that out and the ability to play into it to make it seem like that's what it was when it really it wasn't, and then make her look like she was just fucking overreacting for no good fucking reason. Perfect. Couldn't have planned it better myself. With all that being said, I don't like being the fucking player. I don't like it. I was driving home, and I think I would much rather be the fucking victim. The one that gets rolled on, the one that gets rolled over, the one that fucking gets played, whatever. Like, because while I won, right? I got the perfect clean out. It's the perfect crime. I don't like it. I would almost rather go through the pain of fucking being played than fucking whatever the fuck it is I'm feeling right now. Whatever it is I'm feeling right now feels dirty. It feels... Like maybe like I'm just avoiding pain, but like that's part of life. Like I played it perfectly so I wouldn't have to feel pain at her expense. You know what I mean? Like I don't like it. Oh fuck. I think part of me like almost wants to clear it up with her. Almost. But that might do more damage than good. In my life, I've gotten so used to just being like, yep, I did it. The accountability. I'm the worst one. Even though I wasn't. Even though it wasn't on me. Even though whatever. But like, fine. But now that like I've actually learned how to win, it feels gross. But would I win? That's what I'm trying to figure out. It's like, what? Just to avoid feeling played? I guess that's what I'm struggling with right now. I literally don't have the words right now to express what it is I'm truly feeling right now. Or because it's... I'm simply not satisfied. I won, sure. But I can't tell if like I'm so used to losing, like I got comfortable and used to not winning, or fuck, like being in that position to where it's like now that like I'm the one that played, didn't get played, but I got played, or the one that played someone but didn't get played. Yeah, so I'm sitting here thinking, what did I really get out of it? Would she have done the same? Does she deserve it? Does she deserve to know? Does she deserve what? I don't know. Like part of me just wanted to dig deep. I don't, but then I also know like she was doing the same shit too. Like she was fucking taking jabs back at me. Again, okay, all my shit's on the table now. That's not to say the shit she was doing to me. Like she was showing people my picture. Like, oh, she has a picture of me and like I was fucking making a stupid facial expression. I think I was damn near butt naked and fucking. So she's fucking showing people this, whatever. So it's not like she's fucking exactly innocent in all this either. Okay, so let's not forget the full fucking picture before we sit here, before I completely chastise myself for all this. But you know what? I don't know. I think I'm just gonna let it ride. I'm gonna post this on YouTube, but I am not gonna. Nah, fuck it. My decision is made. My mind is made up. I'm gonna reach out. I'm gonna let it just sit right where it's at.